So sorry for the wait. Welcome to Salon Talk. I am Coach Lee Hill, and we have with us a part of our co-host, Don, celebrity stylist Don Ferguson. And today we are talking about your hairstyle gives light to your economical status, right? So we really wanted to talk about this subject. It's actually kind of a fun subject, and we can go any kind of way we want to go with this subject. Um, but we want to kind of give you guys an idea of when you think that, I guess, what can I say, like the different hair methods that you're doing, you can know exactly where you bossing it up or like you on this type of level. I don't know. Am I saying it right, Don? It's so many ways we can go with this, but we're gonna break down like your quick weaves. We're gonna talk about the other hair extension methods and what that actually say, what the beauty culture says about those things that we're getting done to our hair every day, right? I hope I said that right. I hope I laid it out right. So the first thing we want to talk about before we go into anything, Dawn and I was having this talk, and she was talking about the fact that we were talking about the different methods, and I'm more of the aesthetic of things. I did a video last week, and the video was talking about how we're using the hair color for our hairline. And I was like, please, it's like public announcement, please stop doing that. So I think this show is going to kind of be similar to that. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of it and what it actually says about you, how you value your hair and everything like that. Dawn, one of the things that we were talking about is that she was an educator for Design Essentials. I don't know if many of you know about Design Essentials. Design Essentials has been around for a long time. And I think they're one of the products that I mentioned in one of my videos and many of my videos. But it was talking about how I love the fact that they're Black owned, right?
Yes.
Design Essential, is that by the McBrides?
Right. McBride Research Laboratories.
All right, all right. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Mr. Johnson. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Jay.
So go ahead and tell us what you did, because I want people to understand and get the education behind who when we're doing salon talk, why we joined together, and kind of explain to them yours what you did at Design Essential, who you were.
Um, my background, I was a technician.
Mm-hmm.
So my job entailed researching products and the ingredients in products and the effect that it has on our hair type per se, curly hair. But of course, we dealt with all textures, but mainly it was, something. It was a Black-owned company making products for us, right? They've been
Right.
in the beauty game for almost 50 years. So
Wow.
before I was actually in beauty school, so I've been a licensed professional for 33 years. So of course, they were in it back with Mr. Dudley,
Dang,
right?
33 years, Don?
Yes,
You got me
well,
beat.
33 years in this thing. But so I pretty much a technician, literally. So researching all the effects that these products have on our hair and entail on our body. So this is how I can speak with such authority on product consumption and the effect that products have on our hair, because I'm in the industry hands on, with the research team. So that's a part of my background. It will never go away from me. That's a skill set
Embedded
that
in
was
you.
developed. Yes, and you just can't take it away. So now I automatically research products naturally. Before I purchase them, make sure they're actually natural. That's what I love about Design Essentials. Before they even put it on the market, it's pretty much they've already done the research, so you're guaranteed to have a quality product. We just have to show the consumer, right, how it can help them transition to their desired style. So I am grateful for the education that I've received from working behind the scenes in the industry, because
Right.
as a professional, we're privileged to more information or quality of information that's not given to the general public per se. So
Right.
when they give you a product, or you purchase a product as a consumer, and they ask you, must be used by a licensed professional. We've all bought products out of the beauty supply store or the drugstore, and it said must be used by a professional. So when you take that box or that product to the professional, it does, you they know what it is that they're using, but most of us don't. We go in and we take charge, and we're the consumer.
Right.
I mean, we're the professional. I'm sorry. So we go in, and the results of that.
So let's talk about the different levels of the hair
Mhm,
methods that we're using,
mhm,
the effects
mhm,
on it and everything. Hi, Francine. Thank you for
mhm,
stopping by. Wow, what a big wow. So anyway, I look like I wonder if that's a way I can block people. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I can blow them. Okay. Oh, perfect. Woo,
mhm,
child, I'm learning something every day. So let's go
mhm.
ahead and I like women's ball. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead. And one of the things I want to talk about, we want to talk about the different methods. So
Mhm.
I want to get into the dangers of some of the methods and educate the women, because I always see things. I try to talk about things, bring things out in my videos during the week. Uh, the quick weaves,
Mhm.
because now we're dealing with the summertime, and so we're going to go into like the quick weaves. We already know the different methods that the ladies are doing. Hello, thank you for stopping by. And guys, don't forget, you can ask questions. What are some of the dangers? Because I saw something the other day and I was like, I don't know why I didn't notice that before, where they were taking the hot curler and they were curling the edges. So it kind of led me to understand, oh, that's probably another way we are losing our edges, right? Because she
Right.
took it and she put some the affirm. I saw her use the affirm wax stick, and then
Uh
she took
huh.
it and she curled it, and then
Mm.
she sprayed it, and it slicked back because it was natural hair, and it was a she had put
Mhm.
I always say it's a system, but she put a wig on it.
Mm.
What is like? I need you to explain the what you see in that and how that is not I don't know if it's just the practice or what's the dangers when it comes to the quick weaves and what people need to look out for. Maybe that's a better thing to say.
When it comes to a quick weave or a protective style, we have to consider, is this style going to protect the integrity of my hair? Because
Hmm.
the ultimate goal is your own hair. You want to be able to wear and enjoy your own hair. When you go in and you add these aesthetics to your hair, that's just a temporary change. It's your birthday. I want a different look.
Right,
Go on vacation. I want a different look. We're into different looks as a culture, right? But as we experiment,
hey Lily, I
experiment.
miss you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, no worries. Hey, beautiful. But and hi, Jr. Hello. When we have to we have to really consider the integrity of our hair. The whole goal of any beauty service, right, is to enhance your beauty. But in
Right,
the process, you want to protect your beauty, right? Because it's not
right,
like, yes, it takes time for your cells to heal themselves and the body to heal themselves. The goal is prevention. So you
right,
want to avoid any protective styles that are going to jeopardize the integrity of your hair. So what does that mean? I'm not going to experience any hair loss by receiving this particular hairstyle. So we have
right,
to consider the styles that we choose, because the whole goal is you just want a temporary change. You don't want to lose your hair, because that's what I get right? When people come into the salon and say, well, hey, I want this style. And I was like, okay, well, this particular hairstyle is gonna cost you some strands, it can be
So
temporary, yeah. But it's
so
don't consider long term. Go ahead.
So quick weave, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Economically, that's like on the low end when we're talking about like the different methods of
The
hair,
economic,
and
yeah,
it
yeah. It's
economically,
a budget hairstyle. I
it's a
was,
budget hairstyle. You can go in
uh-huh,
there, you can get
low budget.
right. So you
It's
can
a
go
low
in there,
budget
you can get
hairstyle.
your go ahead, Don. I'm sorry. What you
Oh
said?
yeah, it's a low budget hairstyle. I'm
It's
sorry.
considered a low budget hairstyle. And I
Mhm,
know, we go in there and they got what they had because I haven't did that in so long, but they have like the
mhm,
hair like already
mhm,
in the bag, and they're gonna
mhm,
put the stocking cap on you and they're gonna glue it
mhm,
to your hair.
mhm,
And it does look nice, right? However,
mhm,
everything about that hair method is
mhm.
the grade of hair is a low what's called, because you're not gonna glue in no how much is the pack of hair now? Like
Yeah, the
$300 pack
quality.
of hair or something.
Yeah, a
Yeah, you're not gonna
low
glue
grade
that on.
quality hair. Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the quality of that hair is not gonna be so great. It's quick weave for a reason. A lot of us do the quick weave and then we will wear it. Thank you. A lot of us will do the quick weave and we will wear the quick weave for a month or 2 months. And I don't know how y'all do it, but we will. Hold on. We got some not so good people in coming in a thing, but we will go ahead and we will wear that hairstyle. So everything about that method is not a good method because it's not a good method. It is in the low end, and the reason why I'm saying that is because you have the hair is low end, right? You're gonna spend how much is lace quick weaves anyway? I don't know. Is it like what, $50 starting at $50?
Yeah, you have some in the culture that are at that yeah, $65.
JP said, "I love the queens and white hairstyle." Oh, she talking about you, Don. She
Oh,
love that. She love them dreads. JP.
okay, thank you. Thanks,
So
JP.
So we understand that that method is
Mm-hmm.
going to be considered like a low budget. Now we're going to
Right.
go into the luxuries you talked about, like the sew-ins and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Mm-hmm.
do you say about that?
Um, I say a sew-in is, well, any extensions are considered luxury, right?
Right.
That's considered luxury hair. So it depends on the type of extensions. So that's why the quick weaves are so popular because they know it's a luxury item, right?
Right.
But the cost of it doesn't make it a quality item. So we always take it down a notch or whatever
Mhm.
when we add it. When the hood adds it, add in their luxury costs to things. But I would say your sewing, of course, the threading, right? How you secure your base, right? You want to make sure that your base is not going to allow any hair loss, right?
Uh-huh.
So during your takeout process or doing your install, you should not be you shouldn't have any tension on
Mhm.
this. So you should not have any inflammation by the time your install is done. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to take an aspirin. You shouldn't have to take Tylenol. You shouldn't have to take anything to soothe your scalp from this ailing this inflammation
Honey,
that's
I have been
occurring.
through. Listen, I like when you bring this up because listen, when we talking about the different methods and things like that, I done
Yes,
been through all of that. I remember,
yes,
I don't know if you remember back in the day, they had the ponytail. Y'all remember the
yes,
ponytail? I had
yes.
got the ponytail done, right, Don? Girl, and first of all, she put all these pins in trying to lock it down, right?
Oh my
But when I
goodness.
got in the car with my ex, I got in the car. I had to tilt my head down to get in and slide down because the ponytail was so high,
Oh my
and my
goodness.
hair was killing me, y'all. My hair was killing
Not
me. So
rooftop. Got rooftop hair.
right, right. So when you be talking about this stuff, I'm like, now that's as real as it's gonna get because It is true, those different methods. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I always worked into, hey there, ladies, I am late. What's the topic for the evening? I'm so happy to see you both. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? I think Keisha, were you the one that was talking about the color last week? We're asking about color. Was it last week we were talking about color? We got into color or something like that, Don. But we're talking about the different hair methods and where it puts us at, right?
Mm-hmm. My dreads are very heavy when they're wet. They're at their heaviest when they're wet.
Oh, they
Matthew.
act, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that hair method, I've experienced hair methods where
Hey,
the
sister.
tape-in. What have
Mm-hmm.
you? Okay, we have
I
like,
was
yeah,
showing you.
that's her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where we do the tape-ins, right? Tape-ins, they
Mm-hmm.
started back then at $50 for each of those ones that you see where you lay it down, you tape it on the hair, and
Each
so forth.
placement. Mm-hmm.
Right. And those
Mm-hmm.
went for um all race of people, right? You can get them
Mm-hmm.
done if you want it, especially if you had fine hair, the tape
Mm-hmm.
extensions were considered a luxury. The salon I was in was where a lot of celebs came into to they would
Mm-hmm.
fly in just to get all of that service done, and it was a big ticket item. I think the reason why we're talking about the different methods because a lot of times we will do certain things to our hair because of the fact of we would do certain things to our hair because of the fact that it's fast, it's convenient, you know what I'm saying? But we don't look at the what's the outcome of things. And my channel, Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist, is geared towards educating, especially my sisters, educating you guys on what is detrimental to your hair and why I keep bringing awareness to why are we the ones that's experiencing traction, alopecia, and hair loss due to the bad practices that we're doing. So I wanted to talk about the different methods, the luxuries of hair extensions, right? And then we want to talk about the, like the luxuries, meaning like how they're classified when it comes to the beauty
Mm-hmm.
world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the sew-ins. We know that what you can and cannot do. The lowest form right now we're talking about is the glues. The when you're talking about the tape, and not the tape, but the like the quick weave.
The, the
Another low
bonding glue.
form. Go ahead,
Mm-hmm. The
Don.
bonding glue. The
Huh?
bonding glue.
That bonding glue. When
Mm-hmm.
it's not the bonding glue that's bad.
Okay.
It is the methods that's being done for a quick weave. So if you're one of the ones that's putting like the gel in the hair bag and then you putting the stock and you putting the paper over your head and then you putting the stocking cap on it and then you're gluing it that way, that's a terrible method to do. That means that
Mm-hmm.
you have no intentions of washing your hair. You have no
Mm-hmm.
intentions of keeping your hair. Try to get to the track, to the root or your scalp to make sure if you have any type of scalp disorder, you are making sure that you're gonna basically just let it be, right? And
Right.
then it's like a vicious cycle for you if you're doing a quick weave like that, because what happens is once you take it off, your scalp is flaky, um, your scalp is burning, you may get sores, you may see some hair loss, different things like that when you're constantly doing things like that. So we're trying to make you aware and say, hey, this is economically, I understand why you're doing it, but it's going to cost you more. Basically, what I'm saying is it's going to cost you more in the end because eventually you will continue to keep doing the different bad practices to the point where you're going to have to get
You're gonna
the
experience
actual
hair
system.
loss. Mm-hmm.
Right. You're going to experience the
Mm-hmm.
hair loss. And then that's where Hair Club and all these different hairstylists come into effect when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
hair loss and hair replacement. So it's a vicious cycle. It makes no sense to even treat, to even do a process like that, knowing that the outcome is going to affect you in such a major way as time goes on, if that makes any sense. Now, another one, and I remember this place I was working at is in Margate, Florida, right? And the girl was from DC. That's when lace fronts came on the scene. Y'all, Lord Jesus, my people. Lace fronts came on the scene. So I was looking for a job. This girl hired me. She found out I worked for Hair Club and she asked me to come on board. So that week, she wanted me to watch her process and kind of help her, figure out what she needed to do. And I was going to take the stylist and train the stylist on how to style the actual hair. Because everybody, I'm talking about everybody, mama, especially January, February, because y'all know that's tax season. Everybody and their mama was in there getting that $200 lace front wig. That thing, Don, when I tell you I couldn't even work that, I said, honey, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I said, I can't do it. Everybody was walking out there looking like the Little Mermaid. And no cut, no nothing. They always getting the curly weave. And they were all in the curly weave, and it was just long. They were like, I want it down my back.
Right.
And it was, and the adhesive, I'm like, what is this adhesive? They had like a bucket, and they were just slapping it on the head. And I was like, that's detrimental. Y'all cannot tell me. So I couldn't sign on. I told her, I said, I just couldn't do it because I knew what it was doing to the girls' hair. And they did not care, honey. They was in there. I'm talking about a line, boom, 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 And so I want you to kind of talk about because when in Hair Club, we use medical adhesives. Let me see what they're saying. In Hair Club, we use medical adhesives. Pancake, honey, what? To make a pretty woman, can you please direct me to your heart, please? All right. Thank you, Jamaican man. Keisha, I've seen methods in which people have been placing glue on their forehead. I'm sorry, to preserve the edges. Then they damage their forehead. Keisha, I'm sorry, I had to laugh. So, hold on. I gotta whatchamacallit. So, yeah. And the reason why they're doing that, they say, oh, we'll place it before, because you know what, Don? We do say like, hey, stop doing I gotta block this person. Hold on. Okay. Okay, perfect. I got him blocked. Okay, so because they say, like change it up when you laying the hair, the lace front or whatever on. So they putting it all the way forward. That thing be looking crazy, especially when they put those, what is that thing called? Is that supposed to be baby hair? Because it be so thick now. And they got the meme where they saying like, please, y'all, leave that in 2024. What's that thing where it come all the way down like that and it just in the swirl? I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
A forehead finger wave.
That's what is it called?
A forehead finger wave. It is. Yeah. It's a forehead, it's a forehead finger wave.
I'm gonna tell you what it looks like. I'm gonna tell you from someone in the beauty industry, someone who has been in all kind of salons. I've been in the Pakistan salon, I've been in a straight hood salon, I've been in an all Caucasian salon, I've been in salons, right? When you do something like that, it is not attractive at all. It screams a certain level of economics. It screams how you feel, the value of your hair. It's just not attractive. You know why it's not attractive? It's not natural. Now, no one says anything, right? Because that's the thing. Because now it gets to a point where you're curling your hair. I've seen them curling the hair and they style it in the front, but eventually the hair gets so thin that now I see they have the frontals. They have the new one where you can make your sideburns, or what you call it, a finger wave thing. They have those things, but my issue with that is if you have to get that, Keisha, baby hair. Thank you, Keisha. I thought the baby hair was the little child. I don't know. That's what they used to have on those lace front wigs. But what I was going to say is that no one, not a hairstylist, no one who's doing the method is saying, hey, listen.
Because that's the licensed stylists aren't doing that. That's the cosmetology dropout or the cosmetology enthusiast. So we all have novice. Every time the culture always thinks once they see a style, they can do it. Right. And everything is based on economics. I can't, how she did that? Oh, okay. So when you see the forehead finger wave, it's they're trying to cover up the lace. You know it's a lace, you know it's a helmet, right?
Uh-huh.
And okay, either they don't have the glue or the adhesive that they placed on. And we all know during the culture how some things become trend in the culture
Right.
based on ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
like the false lashes, you know, the bigger the bigger more ridiculous the beauty service, the bigger
Right.
your self-esteem is. It really telling you how large your insecurities are based on the regimen that you just received, right? I don't
Right.
have any money to say these lashes. I get the, you know, what it costs to put lashes on, $45 in the hood. So, you know, I feel pretty when I put these lashes on, but the method of having these lashes placed on you is damaging to the eye. Number one, the person is not licensed to put those lashes on you. That's a nail tech that's putting those lashes on you. She's licensed to do your hands and your feet. She's not licensed to touch your face. You have to have a cosmetology license or esthetician license to put your hands in someone's face. Number one. Okay. So you're going to this unlicensed person to receive these beauty services. It's just like when they were getting those butt injections with before BBLs were actually BBLs. How many times they were walking around in the hood with putting foam in their behinds with for injections. That was a part of the culture, right? Um, to enhance their body. So there's so many horror stories in terms of beauty services that stem from the culture. You know, those are unlicensed and unhealthy practices, and you're just destroying your body
Right.
when you do that. That person that's putting on the person that's putting on your lashes is not licensed. They have to have a cosmetology license or esthetician license in order to apply. It's no go to no school, and I went and took a class, and I can put lashes on because the school, when you attend and acquire the proper knowledge, is going to tell you the proper adhesive to use.
Right. Right.
You're not going to be using tire glue to to adhere false lashes. You're going to know that this is going to irritate this person's eyes. There's a chance that the consumer can have a contact or staph infection
Mm-hmm.
from using this particular product, you
Right.
know. So you put yourself in jeopardy when you support practices or people that aren't licensed by the board.
Right. And to be honest, let's keep it 100 too. We got people that are licensed that don't know what they're doing either, especially if they, they knew on the scene. Because when I came out of beauty school, I understood that beauty school taught me the theory. However, when I came out, I was living in Orlando, so I went to Miss Patty's salon, and it was two
Mhm.
black ladies that taught me how to do the sew-ins, how to wash the hair, like more practical, more of that. And then I did half of that, and then the other, I did had two jobs. I worked in an all Caucasian salon because I love cutting hair. So, but we practice when y'all go to those salons. I'm just gonna tell you, when you go to, what's the thing? Um, what's that? Regis salons and Smart
Mhm.
Style and the Walmart and everything.
Mhm.
Though a lot of us are new coming out of school, and we practice because they're not going to fire us if we put a hole in your head with the clippers. They're not. They just not. So, but that's where you get your skills up at. Keisha's
Right.
saying something. You want to read that, or you got it? Oh, you want me to do it?
I got it. Keisha's absolutely right. She's saying her cousin had a reaction. It's true. I've been to the hospital before, urgent care, for eyelash irritation. I had an allergic reaction to some eyelashes. It wasn't the eyelash; it was the pads because I suffer from contact dermatitis. But you know, I had been wearing lashes for a while. That we were coming out of COVID, and I was so excited to be able to wear lashes, you know, individual lashes again. And I went into regular lash technician. They was open and ready for business. Of course, it wasn't the same lash tech,
Right.
but when I tell you, honey, I swole up like some bees had actually got a hold to my skin. My eyes were closed shut. It took at least 14 days for it to for my body to just come back to normal. It took about 3 days, for the medicine after coming from the emergency room for the symptoms to subside.
Right.
But it was literally a 72-hour horror story.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to beauty products and beauty services, we must take account of our own health
Right.
before prior to going to receive certain services, because the who's to say the implements weren't clean. It was my fault. I should not have and I had to go back to have them to remove the lashes because I thought I was having a reaction to the actual lashes. Come to find out, I was having an allergic reaction to the pads that they put under my eyes, which were a gel form. It was designed for people with sensitive skin.
What?
Yes. So when I say straight to urgent care. So
Yeah. Yeah.
allergic reactions are serious, serious, serious thing when it comes down to your eyes. If you're already sensitive, and we know if we have allergies, if you have, you're allergic to peanuts, you're allergic to certain fruits,
Mm-hmm.
certain
Mm-hmm.
vegetables. We already know sometimes that we have certain allergic reactions. So you need to be mindful. Even if you go and get a tattoo, right? The
Yeah.
ink that's in the tattoo can send you to the hospital. So what we intake, we have to be mindful of when it comes to certain acquiring certain
What? Let me
beauty services. Mm-hmm.
let me bring this up because Keisha just said something. And I'm like,
Or
yes. Keisha, I want to tell you this. You're not the only one that's allergic to braiding hair. I have
yeah,
seen, and it's good that now they got this whole thing about the canacolon hair and that it has carcinogens in it, right? I don't know if it's going to matter to a lot of us, but I kept saying just as much as they have to process because they'd be like, oh, I got Brazilian hair, or oh, I got yes, yeah, Keisha, it has carcinogens. I did a video about that. I gotta remember. I'm see if I can add it to the link. But I had found a girl that she does the braiding hair, but she used the organic, so a lot of people don't even realize that they're allergic to it. And the reason why I would say that is um when you get the braids, like now we're coming into summertime, so everybody getting braids. I used to have clients that say my scalp real itchy. You know what I mean? And I can't wear the braids. They'll take it out immediately. You're actually having an allergic reaction. And then I'll tell them, listen, they have to process that hair too. Even though it's braiding hair, they have to process that hair as well. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all come on here and y'all say some crazy stuff. My hand is like the trigger on the block. So be mindful what you're saying on here because I'm talking, I'm flowing, and I'm taking you down. I ain't even going back and forth with you. Keep your business to yourself. But yeah, so a lot of us, and even myself, I used to get the braiding hair. I just found some videos of me at Black College Week in Daytona Beach. I had the bob braids, but one of the reasons I remember was that I could not keep them in because my scalp was itchy, itchy, itchy. But it's the chemicals that's on it. So Keisha, it's a lot of people that are allergic to it. But the big thing, and you can go look that up, the canacolon hair that everybody's putting in, yes, it's talking that they're revving up to do another class action lawsuit about that because that is something that is affecting us, and I hate that. But what you guys can do is look for. I can't think of the name of this young lady, this black young lady, because she was having the allergic reactions. She created line for braiding hair, and it get the job done. It looks good. She has a whole salon and everything. So you guys have to be mindful. So when we talk about economically, that is great, right? It's like, oh, that fits in my budget. I'm gonna give me a quick weave. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Or I'm gonna get me that lace front and I'm gonna lay that on my hair and I'm just gonna give my hair a rest because maybe your hair is breaking off and you think that you're actually doing a better thing. You're not. The best thing you can do when you experience or you notice that you are experiencing hair loss of any kind or a scalp disorder or shedding or anything, the worst thing you could do is put something over your head and not.
I'm melting over here.
You melting, you hot?
Melting.
Oh
But
Lord. Yeah. Um
menopause is serious.
woo! I wonder if it that has contributed to black women fibroids. Don't know. Well, y'all ever noticed something that the products, y'all ever noticed that the products that are made for us, we got all of these recalls and stuff like that? I'm just saying, it's something to look at. You know what I mean? I'm like, why are we, the relaxers, they don't care. Then then it was the big thing before the relaxer, it was the parabens and the shampoos and stuff like
Oh,
that. I'm
yeah.
like, what happened?
Somebody from France. That's all I see is
Hey,
France.
wait, I don't know what to say. Hello from France. Hey, great day, great day. I don't know, honey. And I'm from I'm from Miami. I don't even know the Spanish stuff. But I think that's something that we have to look at. That's why I did one of the things I talked about is like I love a lot of the salon or the what do you call those people? The
Bonjour.
like
Wrong
bonjour.
people.
Okay. Thank you. Keisha say honey bonjour. But I like the fact that we still have black owned products. I like the fact that we still have
Yes.
people that are creating products that understand our hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am good. And how are you? That are creating these products and that it's good to have these type of videos and have people watch and see the need of our people because when you look at everything, the recalls and the relaxers and the parabens and the shampoos and all this, with us a lot of times we like the fact of like they have a shampoo, they'll do a commercial and they say, oh, for natural hair, right? And then they say, oh, when I wash it, it feels so soft. Yeah, it feels so soft, but they put all kind of stuff in that, right? That it may feel a certain kind of way, but as time goes on, you'll see the deterioration of your hair because they're not putting in products that will nurture our hair, right? Because a lot of times they don't understand our hair, but they're more so doing it because when natural came out, everybody was making natural products. You know what I mean? And then these large corporations start buying a lot of the natural hair um products, and rightfully so. If I was someone and I created a product, I don't knock the owner to say, hey, I'm going to sell this product and make my
Right.
money because they're in it
Mm-hmm.
for business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be mindful of that as well because they're not looking out for our best interest. Not that it can be intentional, but they're not looking out for our best interest because they don't know. You understand what I'm saying, Don? I don't know if that
Mm-hmm.
makes any
Yes.
sense. It's like I tell women when they're experiencing hair loss, I say, hey, why don't you go to a trichologist and make sure and see or a dermatologist. It's okay to go to them, but a lot of times it's good to that they look like you because they understand instead of when you a lot of times I had clients that would come and say, hey, I went to the dermatologist. He told me I had traction alopecia. Everybody was put into this one box. And then
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, go get a second opinion. They go to a second opinion. They don't have traction alopecia. They got thyroid issues and things like
Right.
that. So
Right.
not saying that any other race could not do the job because they're doctors as a dermatologist, but sometimes it's good to go to your own. You feel like they're gonna do more of the work to see what's actually going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
MP, yes, we have to check the ingredients to the hair product, right? And just as we run out and it's like a trend. It's a trend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a trend with the lace fronts when it came out. Everybody was doing lace fronts to what it was, 22 inches. I don't know how long them
Mm-hmm.
things was. They had it. They got to get it down your back, and they still doing it, right? And I know a lot of people like, oh, are they looking at the celebs? The celebs have money to make sure that they treating their hair. They're not a lot of times economically, you may see a Beyonce, and then Beyonce took her hair down. Beyonce hair is flowing. Well, Beyonce mom is a licensed cosmetologist, right? Or has been for many, many years. Um, and Beyonce understands the do's and the don'ts. So yes, she's wearing her lace front, she's on tour and everything, but trust me, she's taking care of her hair under there. A lot of us are not doing that. We're following the trend. We are getting at an economical rate, right? We're saying it fits my budget, and you're going with that, and then you're in your 20s experiencing hair loss, in your 30s experiencing hair loss. That is a major, major issue. See what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, um, it behooves us to be able to take a look, and we're at home, you guys are watching us. These videos are not, these live videos are not to destroy us or to make us feel, even though some of it is funny. Now it's funny. I'm just saying, like, y'all stop using the black hair dye. Leave the Beijing alone, men. Leave the Beijing alone and stop using it for the hairline. If it's over, it's over. You got to
Right.
accept it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. We have to stop and take a look, because when we step out the door and we looking crazy like that, whether we got the sideburns with the swirl that's touching your eyebrow or your eyelash, or we got the
Forehead
lashes
finger
where we see
waves.
your lashes before we see you.
Forehead finger waves. My stylist told
Forehead
me.
finger waves. Okay, forehead, and Keisha said baby hair. When we were stepping out the door and we're looking like that, we're telling people we don't value ourselves. That's really what we're saying. When I'm looking, if you're a single woman and you're going out the door and you're talking about you want to get married, trust me, that is not the look for you. You're gonna have we're gonna attract. It's always gonna be somebody that wants us, but the level of uh I guess the value of that person is what you're going to attract. You cannot be out here looking crazy and taking risks and losing your hair in the process because that's the trend, or it's economically it fits you. If you decide to get a hairstyle, ask the questions. How is this going to affect my hair? What are you going to use on my hair? And if they get an attitude and they tell you move on, then you move on. But at the end of the day, make sure when you step outside that house that people know, like, that sister right there, she have it together. She cares about herself. There are women in their 50s and 60s. I looked at that. When you look at the Nia Longs and it's Annihilations, right? And they were wearing hair extensions. Robin Givens were wearing hair extensions way in the 80s, 90s. They still
Right.
got their hair. So what's going on with this generation of women now moving forward, that you're all saying, let me show you how to create it at my edges. You understand? Something there's been a disconnect somewhere in that. Don, somebody, you want to read what Keisha's saying? They saying, you got it.
Keisha's saying a few things. Hormonally, um, about some hair loss.
Hold on. My stylist told me that I had some thinning around my edges was hormonal because we are in our 40s, but I went to the dermatologist because she has given me shots to regrow my edges. Okay, she gave a cortisone shots. She said no, it isn't hormones. That's good. Keisha, hormonal, but I stopped using a hair bonnet and my edges grew back. Simple. Ain't that something? Something simple like
Mm-hmm.
that. I love hearing those stories. Um, I know I guess you're trying to say I don't use the head covering that people with dreads heads use. I think it's a lock sock. I don't know, you can answer that. These new age stylists are rude, LOL. And hold on. LOL, you be scared to ask questions. Honey, if you got to be scared to ask questions, walk out. That's your hair. That's listen, when you
Oh
walk into listen, and Don, we can
my God,
attest to
that's
this.
so funny. That is true. I can imagine those new age hairstyles, especially if they can do some hair
Girl.
a little bit. They ain't answering no questions, but you really should.
They got that fame, huh? Girl,
Yes,
you better go to Kiki. She
yes,
can
child.
slay it.
That thing, I ain't got time for all them questions,
Mm-mm.
honey. But yes, but where there's one good stylist, there are more. So you just always gotta have two, like you have to have two good mechanics. You gotta have two. You always gotta have a backup. So what were we saying?
Well, we're talking
Keisha
about
was
that.
saying
No, I want to go on them
Keisha
new
was
age
saying a number of
hairstylists.
things I wanted to address. But yes, um tight headscarves can um increase hair loss or cause hair loss because you're smothering the follicle. We all know that the hair grows by stimulating the scalp. So through scalp manipulation, um your you get the blood flowing and circulating,
Right.
and we know that that promotes growth and hair growth. Okay, that's a scientific fact when it comes to growing hair. When we say why my hair isn't growing, your hair is growing, you can't see the growth because of the damage, right? Because if your hair wasn't growing, why are you shaving?
Right.
Right? Even a
Wow.
bald head man shaves his head. He was like, I don't have any hair. My hair doesn't grow. Well, why are you shaving? You have a bathroom full of razors. So your hair grows. It may not grow in all areas, right? So we're thinning in the middle or we're thinning around our hairline. And why are so many women losing their hairline area? Because of we start from little, right? We start putting extensions in our hair from a young age, right? There's no need for extensions in children's hair. I know you do what you want with your baby. I'm not telling you how to raise your child, but you're adding weight to a child's hair and it's still growing. They're still growing. Their body is still growing. So when they are at full capacity, whenever they stop growing, which is what, 18,
Mm-hmm.
16, right? 16, adolescents, we know adolescents, they go through a whole bunch of hormonal changes, right? Acne, all type of stuff. But I think the introduction to false hair or hair extensions um can cause alopecia because placement is wrong, right?
Right.
They're not gonna be spending an arm and a leg to have the child's hair or the child's install done correctly. They're not going to do
Mhm.
it. Okay, they're not going to go to a trained professional so this child won't experience hair loss. They're going to go to Ray Ray, Shay Shay, and Nene, right?
Wait,
They're gonna support the culture.
I wanted.
So
I'm
mhm,
sorry, John. I did want to interject real quick because you were talking
mhm,
about them putting on the hair. The
mhm,
lace front. I see the new thing. Well, I don't know if it's a new thing because I saw it. I went to get my hair done. I saw a young lady doing this. She tied. It's a band that they put. You know what I'm talking
mhm,
about? And she tied it tight,
mhm.
tight, tight, tight. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She tied it so tight and then she double tied it to make sure it wouldn't. I guess they wanted to lay as flat as possible. That definitely, I just wanted to interject that too, because you were talking about not just the little, but the lace front. That's another thing that I see a lot of them doing when they go in there and they get the service done. They tighten it on their head and they send them under the dryer or something like that. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. The
Okay. Oh,
hair
JP
loss,
say the melting band.
the
What
the melting,
what
the
what is
the
that doing? Is
melting
it melting the adhesive into the scalp?
is yes.
Hmm. So remember you were talking about this too. A lot of like remember, ladies too. Anything you putting on your scalp that can get into your bloodstream too. So when we talking about fibroids and breast cancer and things like that, keep in mind some of us be a little bit unhinged. Don, we was talking about it. Sometimes it could be like a little bit unhinged. Those are chemicals going in your scalp, hair color, and things
Mhm,
like that.
mhm, Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Well,
it melts the adhesive into the lace and scalp or forehead. Whoa. Hi. Wow. I'm sorry, Don. I wanted to put that in there because I keep seeing it. I was like, oh my, but Don, I seen it so tight. The lady, a tear rolled down her eye. And she was like
well,
holding it. I said, what the?
as we said before, I don't know why we have to we have to put ourselves through such level of pain to think to be beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like if it doesn't hurt, then I'm not gonna be beautiful. It's like we grew up with that. You know, if we don't get
Ooh.
we don't if we don't get burned by the straightening comb, we're not just not gonna be beautiful
Ooh.
for Easter. You know what I'm saying? So much pain as a culture is related to hair services and hairstyles to the point where we're just traumatized by it. I believe as a culture, we don't
Mm-hmm.
feel as if it doesn't hurt, if it doesn't hurt me, then it's not it's not gonna it's not beautiful, which is unfortunate. I think, we have to just just make ourselves so aware of what we're doing. We have to become consciously aware of every single action when it comes to our beauty and preserving it from just our cosmetics, right? Our
Mm-hmm.
skin, our regimen. They're like, well, I don't wear makeup. I understand, but if you don't wear makeup, is a protective covering. It is a protective layer. It does protect your skin from the environment. It does
Right.
enhance your skin, right?
Right.
But because we don't know how to use it, or it's too much, or whatever the issues are, we shy away from it. But then we will go to some unlicensed person and trust them to put um paint that, actual paint that maybe not be face paint, right? We go in
Yeah.
and we just adhere to so many unhealthy practices that destroy our skin, or our beauty, and it's going to take time to repair it. um you know I don't know how I can scream it from a press board. You're worth it. You're worth saving. You're worth preserving. Your beauty is worth preserving. Your beauty is worth preserving. I probably need to put it on a t-shirt. Because not until we destroyed it that we realize how valuable it is. Not until we are extremely bald or our hair is just coming in fuzz till we can only appreciate it. But when you had a head full of hair, you invested in artificial hair instead of maintaining your own hair,
Right.
right? Investing in your own hair, investing in in you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, and that's I love the way you put that and you talked about the pain. I was like, dang, I remember that, you brain your head. And I don't know,
mhm.
y'all had back in the day. My mama had we had the afro comb and she'd hit you with that comb. Pop, 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 stop all that moving, stop all that fussing. And she'd say, pain is no gain. And and then she
Yes,
would part my hair
pain is
crooked. My mama ain't know how
beautiful.
to do hair. She would part my hair crooked and told me I had a crooked head. I said, what? No, lady, you can't part hair. But
Right.
and then she would braid my hair so tight, and I was like, "Oh, my hair gonna grow." So that's
Mm-hmm.
so true that we really believe in so many of these different myths. The other thing I wanted to point out, Dawn, that you talked about is that you're worth it. Remember, you got young ones that are looking at that too. You got your
Mm-hmm.
girls that are looking at how you treat yourself. And a lot of us, we did it and we didn't do it intentionally, but we intentionally told our little girls and our boys as well that their hair is not worthy, that their hair is not good. We did that
Mm-hmm.
by putting relaxers in. I always talk about this. We did that by putting relaxers in because she cries when I do her hair, right?
Oh wow.
Right. We did that when we start braiding up her hair because she may have too much hair, which is a blessing, and you're too
Mhm.
tired to do it, and you know what I mean. You don't want to be bothered with it, so you put the braids in
Mhm.
so it can stay in there for weeks at a time. I've seen a lot of little girls. I remember going to school and I'm like, dang, she had
You are
thick,
so
pretty
right,
hair.
Keisha. Mhm.
Yeah, she had thick, pretty hair. And when you get old, when you see them older, they had them
Mhm.
thin down and everything because they had started so young with
Mhm.
the extensions in their hair. Let me see what Keisha got to
Yes,
say.
and we're
We
taught we're taught to hate our hair. Keisha is
right.
absolutely right. You know,
We
it's we you
go
go
ahead.
through that self-hatred phase. I hate my curl pattern. Remember, I was saying we go in and we want to erase our curl pattern. It's we
Hmm.
shouldn't be saying anything like that. Like I hate myself. Oh, I hate
Right.
my hair. I want it to be like this or like
Hmm.
that. No,
Hmm.
I love my hair. I would
Right.
like to I would like to try a different style. Not I
Right.
hate my hair, because when you accept hate,
Hmm.
you hate your very being. You hate
Right.
how you are. So and you tend to destroy it when you use
Hmm.
those words. So you're not gonna make a good choice because you're in the mindset of destruction. I hate myself. So when you say, well, I don't like this particular texture or where I am right now, I love my hair. However, I want to change. I would like to try something else. So I always like to lead with that when my clients come in and say, or ask for a different hairstyle that's something different or outside their natural or normal texture. Why do you want this change? Because we you have to first love yourself before you can love anyone else, or you're
Hmm.
gonna forever hate this style. You're gonna forever be changing,
Right.
trying to please this particular image that you have in your
Hmm.
head. So at some point you have to say, I love me with my
Right.
curly hair, with this tight coil pattern, with this
Hmm.
straight hair, with this wavy hair, with this dark
Hmm.
skin, with this blue skin, with this red skin, whatever it is,
Right.
this alien skin. I love me. So until you accept you know, you can't change you.
And it's hard because again, you coming
Mhm,
from maybe mommy said,
mhm,
I was dark skinned. Well, I'm
mhm,
still dark skinned.
mhm,
Um, and I would who is this? Oh, Lord, these people, Jesus. I was whatchamacallit. So I struggle with color. I struggle with not just my color. I struggle with my weight because I was always so tiny. I graduated 74 pounds in high school.
mhm,
So we have all these insecurities and then we grow into adults, but we still have that little kid mindset. We still have those hangups because it was embedded in
mhm,
us for so long from childhood. But we have to
mhm,
learn that we got to change the narrative. And a lot of times, like you said, you may want something different. They have like products like amino what is it, amino acid products
mhm,
that you can use where you can have a temporary if you want your hair straight, you know what I mean, you want
mhm.
to blow dry it out or whatever. They have different things, but I think the key point is to always remember it's temporary. Your
Right.
DNA is your DNA. You cannot
Mhm.
change that. So
Right.
if you cannot change that, I'm not gonna change my skin color now. I love my skin color, right? Beautiful chocolate, right? I don't want to bleach my skin. I'm happy with my skin. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of us have to get to that point and that's what this channel is about. That's what Ask the Beauty Expert channel is about. And we were supposed to actually do it on her channel. I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and segue. We were supposed to do it on her channel, but we won't be able to for a little bit. But you will be starting to put out your videos this week, Dawn. Is it this
Yes.
week? Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys can go to Ask the Beauty. It's Ask the Beauty Expert, and Dawn is a celebrity cosmetologist, and she's also a celebrity makeup artist. She makes her own products. Like her lashes I'm wearing right now, they are real mink, right? So she just told me that. So I'm really feeling myself right now, y'all.
Why,
So go to
thank you.
so go to her channel, you know what I mean, and support her. I think we're lazy. Oh, Keisha, you gonna get They gon' they gonna get you, honey. Keisha say, I think we are lazy when it comes to hair. Well, I am at least. No, honey, it's all of us, even me. My mom
Mhm.
always had our hair done in the shop, but because of my coins, that's right,
Mhm.
period. Now I just go to the shop for my regular trim. I'm already subscribed. All right, Keisha, that's what I'm talking about. That
Thanks,
Keisha,
Keys.
that is true. I'm grateful that I'm a hairstylist so I can do my hair. But listen, we like to be pampered too, and it is true. It's a lot of us that's lazy. Don, you can attest for this now, right? Because I'm not in the
Mhm.
beauty salons. I can count on. I can't even count on my hand fingers or whatever how many times a client has came through the door and said, "I need something that's going to last me at least 2 weeks to a month," and you be looking at them like,
What?
you go, yes, I always had. I'm like, they don't even want to
Yes.
be. I don't want to be bothered.
Yes.
They going through menopause. They sweat.
Yeah.
They're sweating, or they
Mhm.
started working out.
Mhm.
They like, I can't do one without the
Mhm.
other. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so
Mhm.
that's where the expertise comes in as a
Mhm.
cosmetologist, where we sit you down and we
Mhm.
do a consultation. We start saying, well, what is it that you're doing? And we find out those different things. And we say, well, this is the best method for you. But a
Mhm.
lot of y'all don't go to anybody to give you the consultation to say, so they can say, based on your hair, this would be the best method. Instead, y'all
Mhm.
going in there and they just
Mhm.
doing whatever. And then you destroying, for the workout, you got the quick weave and you destroying your hair on that level. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot. But yeah, Keisha, we are all lazy. But one last thing I will say, I
Mhm.
put in myself because we all go through life, y'all, especially as
Mhm.
women. We go through all different kind of traumas. Men do too. But I'm
Mhm.
talking to the ladies. We go through all different kind of things in life. We get married, we have children, everything comes before us, right?
Right.
And we do become lazy because we wearing so many hats. We work in a 9 to 5, we run in a household, we may be single mothers in a
Mhm.
household. It's so many things. We got some type of trauma, abuse, all kind of stuff that we have experienced, right? But I challenge you to push past that and just every day. I'm telling you, today it's Sunday. I was like, child, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to lay in my bed. I want to sleep like Don slept. My Sundays and the naps. I want to just chill. But I push,
Today
I
was
said,
definitely the day for it.
right. But you
It
know what?
rained a lot today. Mhm.
I
Go
push
ahead.
myself and I say I'm gonna make sure before even if we wouldn't have had this live, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do something for myself. I'm gonna make sure I beautify myself. I make sure I look good. And
Right.
even if I don't have nowhere to go, because
Right.
what's gonna happen is it's gonna start programming you to start taking care of yourself. You gotta start putting yourself first because I promise you this,
Absolutely.
your children, some kids, they will recognize your sacrifice. But the people that love you the most, they don't see your sacrifices. I'm telling you, your husbands, they don't see it. And if you do have one that do, praise God. But a lot of times we make ourselves sacrificial lamb till we can't give anymore and we break down. And
Right.
so the reason for this is that once you start programming yourself, say, I don't care. Today I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do my hair. Even if it's something, a little pin up or something, just do it. And you'll start noticing, you'll start saying, you know what? I'm gonna get my nails done. I don't have the money for nails, but you know what? Let me go on Amazon and order me some gel polish. Just the little things. And before you know it, those little things turn into big things, and you start realizing, "Ooh, I'm happy today." Right?
Mhm.
I've been through this, but I'm happy today because you start taking care of yourself. And when you start taking care of yourself, you can love better. Your family will be rewarded because you're taking care of yourself. But a lot of us are on empty and we're trying to do everything else and put us last. And that's why we lazy too, because we got a lot on our plate and we don't want to recognize it. We want to walk around like Superwoman.
Mhm.
I'm not Superwoman. When I wake up in the morning, I said, thank you, God, you gave me another day on this earth, right? And I say, well, the first thing I got to do is give it to God, right? So I read my 4 chapters, but you stay on that path. You don't look to the right or to the left, and you get yourself together mentally. You get it starts
Mhm.
here. That's what this channel is about. That's what Dawn channel is about. We have to change the narrative. We doing too many bad practices, trying to fake the funk, walking out looking fabulous, but up under there
Right.
you bald, and you got all kind of disorders, all kind of issues, and you're not dealing with it. We got to deal with it, you know?
Mhm.
All right. I'm
Hello,
done.
Liz.
I'm done. You got any more, Don?
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Go check me out on my channel, Ask the Beauty Expert, and I hope to be loading up some videos. You let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'm pretty much going to be talking about the science part of the beauty. You know, some stuff that's going to keep us safe and make us aware of the various practices that are out here, so we can keep ourselves safe. The
Right.
best way to stop these bad practices is by educating the public. So I hope that you keep me educated and I keep you educated and we keep each other safe out there.
That's my girl. Celebrity stylist Dawn Ferguson, baby. I had a good time. We will see you guys, Lord's will, next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. on Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. I pray you guys rewind this video back and watch it again, take something from it, and stop the bad practices. We are beautiful, y'all. We are beautiful. We got to keep telling
Protect your
ourselves
crown,
that.
girls. Protect your crown.
Smooches!
Take care.
Bye.